these teams. Guyana yesterday dropped one game against Barbados, and they kind of made up for it. Now I think they don't want to do that again today. I think this is the day you want to go all the way up, get the best placing you can, and I was really exciting for this game.
So Guyana wearing the green, playing from left to right, and the Mexican men wearing their white, playing from right to left, and they will kick off. Great day here at Twin Elm Rugby Park. Fantastic kickoff by Mexico, and they managed to recover it but have knocked it on. So it'll be first scrum to Guyana.
Guys are probably a little nervous here. They both know that, both teams know that this is a very important match as the team that wins goes on for the Cup Finals.
Set! Let's go, 9.
Referee Brian Archiero giving the instructions, the new scrum instructions, as Peebo Hamilton gets it out to the edges here, and Guyana looking to throw it around a bit early on. They've certainly got their offensive set as a wide pattern here. That's Richard Staglin. He stepped out of a couple of tackles. Now he's found some space, and they've got an overlap out left. They need to get that all the way out to the edge, and they have. What the Mexican men are adjusting and coming across, and really thought maybe one more pass and the Guyanese might have been away.
Guyanese are down one man right here, right now.
There's an injury behind the play. Guyanese player about 50 meters behind. Even his trainer hasn't spotted him yet. And now he's running up to get back into play here. So it'll be scrum to Mexico here, just on their 22-meter line. And I think the Mexicans fancy the flair and their ability to throw around the ball. You won't see them kicking into space necessarily to relieve pressure of being inside their own half.
Definitely here. So Mexico trying to come out of their own half.
So a
nice
bit of a hybrid,
again.
yeah, of what we're talking about. They're kicking for space, but only when they were sure no one was home. They sort of took it up into contact and then kicked ahead, and they've picked up a nice chunk of real estate there, Fred.
Yep, definitely. About 40 yards up the field. A little pressure on Guyana.
Fred, as a former Sevens player, what's it like on day 2 after you've had a hard day 1? Is this first game, like once you get a few knocks on you, you start getting back into it, or are you pretty sore?
Well, it all depends what they did last night. I would assume these guys were well taken care of. Their coaches, the staff took care of them. They're a very important part of the whole thing too. And yeah, it's pretty nerve-wracking, but you know that everything counts.
Overthrow by Guyana results in a Mexican try, and that's a great job by number 4, Rodrigo Ramos. Yeah. He picked up that loose ball from the overthrow, and really that was Guyana's ball they lost.
Yeah, an overthrow is one of the situations. There's nobody else back there that can do anything.
And actually it was Nazareno Alom, and he just saw that as a big present that it was, and ran it across.
That's exactly what it was, a big present from Guyana. Those little mistakes in your own half will cost you the game, and actually we lived that in a World Cup against France. Or an overthrow, and you know, if it's at the end of the game, that's it for you. You know, it's your tournament. So these are the things they got to work on day in and day out to get it right.
A great team culture here by the Mexican women who are here supporting the men, and same with the Jamaican women, where they're watching all the men's games and men are watching the women's games. You didn't have that when you were on the road back when, but it's nice to have those friendly voices cheering for your team.
Yep. Definitely, we in my days we didn't have that. Maybe the last Hong Kong Sevens, the women came along, but before that, no, it was men's only and domestic divisions.
Right. So Mexico with a 5-0 lead. A bobbled ball from the kickoff. Guyana under some pressure now in behind their own 22. They keep retreating, trying to absorb that pressure. Now Mexico could come away with that ball, knocked on, and what a perfect spot.
Yeah.
Center of the field, 5 meters out. The playbook's coming out now.
Yeah, Mexico is, yeah, they're in a perfect position here to have a set play and to run up, you know, they've worked on these things a lot, you know, so this is where you see how sharp they are and how bad they want it today. Guyana, again, they'll have to defend this if they want to stay in the game, because 2 tries up at almost at halftime becomes more difficult to come back from.
Head sinking time. Mexico not getting that ball out cleanly as they'd hoped, so the set play not going to be on now. And the Guyanese coming up, but there's a gap. Oh, good cover tackling. Ball's put to ground nicely by Mexico. They're going to try and spread it out wide.
Miss ball.
Fernando Herrion. And now a penalty. RCO saying they weren't rolling away in the tackle. Guyana have to retreat pretty much to the goal line.
Quick tap. They're going quick.
Nadeau, he's getting out wide. And boy, the Mexicans are just crashing the lanes, hoping to bang through the Guyanese defenders.
Seems like the Mexican guys all want to do it themselves. I think the ball could be doing some work here. The try would already be scored.
Absolutely. I think one more pass would have finished it off a couple of times. Guyanese holding in tough close to the line. There's another instance where maybe one more pass would have gotten it through. Now Mexico getting the payoff as Rodrigo Ramos scores a try right under the post, but they made that a lot harder than they had to.
They worked really hard on that try, and yeah, let's see the replay here. You see the Mexican, they all want to take it up. It's a pick and drive, you know. It's loose around the rucks. Well, pick and drive will work in sevens also. So Mexican, it's a perfect example of what, you know, maybe it's part of the plan. We don't know. You know, we're watching like everybody else, but definitely they're pounding it around the edges, and for this time it worked.
Guyana put in a lot of good tackles, but at some point there's no one left, or there's no steam left to get up and make one more tackle.
Exactly, it's exactly right. When your wingers are along the edges, it's because you've drawn everybody in.
So we're going to have a change on the Mexican side. We don't have a number 13 on this list here, so we'll have to find out for you at halftime who number 13 is.
We have Alejandro Chavez that came off anyway. Is that who, Alejandro?
Yeah, Alejandro Chavez came off. Well, there was another player that had a knock to his head.
Came off here.
Number 5, maybe Miguel Carner.
Yeah. Oh no, we can't see his number.
Oh, okay. It's a player getting treatment anyway from Mexico. Nice tap ball by Guyana to try and keep that under control from the kickoff. Flip out pass by Schroeder. We saw him score a few nice tries yesterday. Stutter step trying to get out wide now. Claudius Butts, he's done a good job to stay alive. As the hooter goes for the first half conclusion, and that will be halftime. 12-0 lead by Mexico.
Yep.
And I would say Guyana has to be disappointed. They did a lot of hard work there, but didn't really come away with much, and pretty much stayed in their own half.
Well, in the first minute or so, Guyana looked really sharp, really poised, and I'm a little disappointed for them because I was expecting them to really get off the blocks today and really make up for yesterday's hiccups. But hey, again, we have a half. They can actually do the same thing that Mexican did to them. But Mexican looks very, very sharp. You know, they want this. They want this. I think they want to be in this cup final and have a shot at it. You know, either go to Hong Kong or make this World Cup. But they're in it. They're in it. Both these teams have the capacity of doing it. It's up for grabs.
Guyana's 6-time Caribbean champions through the 2000s. So you might suggest that they have more going on. I was watching them training on Friday, and they're a whole group of guys that came out of their high school system as a group. So they're very tight, playing the same clubs in Georgetown. And so you would suggest that cohesiveness. You know, you look at a team like Canada, for years you guys would only train a few days before you headed off to a tournament because of the sheer size of the country. You were able to train all the time together. You're in Montreal and other guys in Victoria. How much time do you have?
We're actually playing 15s games before for our clubs. And we come home, and the weekend after, we were playing 15s games. Now it's become more professional. I mean, some of these guys are signed under contract, and they're not playing anything other than sevens during the season. I'm sure there are countries that are playing both, but majorly the top teams in the circuit are signed, contracted sevens players.
Just missed the cusp, eh? You missed the cusp of it not being
yeah, I missed that. I actually had that in my mind when I saw the New Zealanders. Some of my friends were telling me that they were playing only that, and I was expecting a game at James Bay, and James Bay Castaway heading home. Great games, but it's hard after 2 weeks away from the home to straight back into 15s.
Right. Dwayne Schroeder gets that underway for Guyana. Well taken by Mexico. They're digging for that ball. And now a whistle because there was not release at the tackle. The player didn't release the ball for Mexico. So Guyana with a chance inside the Mexican half. They'll spin it wide.
Presionamos, presionamos.
That's Butts.
Oh,
and this could go the other way.
Pressure, pressure from the Mexican coach, and they went out and intercepted for a 60-yard try.
And that was Pascal Nadeau, I believe. Is that 1 or 7? That was Alejandro Chavez, number 7, who's come into the game.
He's been a standout player for Mexico. It looks like he hurt his arm there.
He's smiling, but he's also grimacing. Happy scored the try, but he maybe got a stinger on his elbow, or maybe something a little more serious than that.
There we go. We see the play again. Yeah, just an interception. He put himself between 2 players. They went for a miss pass, just collected a beautiful pass, and number 1 here, Pascal Nadeau, scores a 60-yarder from an interception.
Those are always the tasty ones, you know. They're not noticing you lurking in the weeds, and then boom, you just step into that, and they're the most surprised guys on the field.
We can explain this to people watching. If there hasn't been a breakdown, the play, you can mingle into
there's no offside.
There's no offside, so you can technically go and mingle in. I've had some of my great tries doing that, and you almost feel like you're stealing a try. You almost feel like you're doing something illegal, but it's legal. Yeah, that's it.
Conversion kick was no good, so it's 17-0. One of the old tricks used to be if you're on someone's shoulder, you go, yes, 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 not identifying who you are. And, you know, guy who's not maybe paying attention just does a no-look pass, and then boom.
We used to practice that in the touch games before training or after training.
Butts doesn't quite get to that, but Guyana comes away with the ball off the kickoff. Guyana really desperate to get on the scoreboard now. It's about managing expectations. I think they know they're not going to come away with the win here, but they would like to get rid of that goose egg.
If they want to win this, they got to score right now. This is one of the plays.
So now the chip and chase is on. No one getting there now. Mexico, Nadeau getting there in time to pick that ball up.
Again, taking away possession, I don't think it should be the tactic from the Guyana in this time of the game.
Things going a little sideways there now for Mexico. Guyana picking up that ball. That's
Throwing
number 6,
around.
Schroeder. Mexico making the big tackles, but they're going to be penalized for leaving their feet. They have to stay on their feet after, I didn't think the ruck had formed. Here's a big move by Guyana. Now that's Claudius Butts.
This might be
and
their
he gets
chance
that
for
out
the
to
one
number
try.
14. Another player we
Good
don't
defense
have a
by
name
Mexico.
For. And now long blast to the whistle. Mexico will have to
Quick tap
retreat.
again.
Guyana just sort of limping into.
Oh.
Did the
we
Mexican
just
player
see,
touch the player within 10 meters of
I
the
think
tackle?
so. This might be a yellow card. Actually, this I think would be the first yellow card of the whole tournament, I think.
I saw one yesterday.
You saw one yesterday, yeah.
Yeah.
They've been rare. Guys have been disciplined.
That's the captain, Juan Pablo Andrade, and he basically engaged the Guyanese player within the 10 meters that he had to retreat. And that's considered a foul. And now this is going to be a try, possibly, for Guyana. And that's number 4,
Yeah,
Rickford
he's
Cumming,
go
stepping
post,
inside.
He knows the points are valuable right now.
Yeah, this is you were saying, you know, they got to score within the next minute or so. They've done that. And so if they get this conversion, now it's only a 2-try game.
Anything's possible in sevens rugby.
We saw some drama yesterday.
Yeah, you've seen drama. Every sevens tournament has its drama. And but you know, the way Mexico's playing, I'm having a hard time thinking that the Guyana can come back from this. But hey, again, this is what makes the excitement of sevens.
Cummings was thinking about those extra points because he could have just dropped down and scored that try, but went to the extra trouble of getting close to the post. 17-7, so 2 unconverted tries to tie this, 2 converted tries to win this.
Absolutely.
Mexico now looking at the scoreboard and thinking the same thing. We've got to keep ourselves in contention of closing out this game. Mexicans being patient. They certainly have spread themselves out, and there's no Guyanese cover defense there now. One more pass, and the switch is on, but directly into contact. Whoa, some big hits going on out there.
That's some big impact there. Yeah, that's what I thought. Holding his head
Nazareno
here.
El Home getting that ball out.
Yeah, we got a Mexican guy down here holding his head, number 3. Nazareno El Home. Oh, you see Guyana right now, eh? The sense of urgency.
They've got enough time to win this, and they're getting enough patience. Butts, outlet pass to number 4, Rickford Cummings. Will he score again? He's got one more to beat. Now he's going to look for the outlet pass. No one there. That hasn't gone forward. Heads up play to tip that back and give themselves some space. And that's Staglin now.
On the right.
They're finding the space out wide. Myers.
Oh.
And now that's going to be another try for Guyana. Stepping inside the tackle. And again, trying to get as close to the post as possible. And now they're looking at this. They want to take the quick points. And the points go through, so now it's a 17-14 game.
1
and
minute
Mexico's
to go.
going, uh-oh.
And now we got some injury time possibly too.
Absolutely, so crush time here, nice step inside.
Nice dump pass over the head. They actually looked quite a little forward to me, but the referee was in perfect position for that. 14-17. You know, you realize here, if Guyana gets a penalty in front of the post, they could tie the game right here.
And it's a very rare animal indeed to see a penalty kick in sevens, but you would take it in a qualifying round match.
Especially a few seconds away from the end of the match.
Team Guyana try and conversion.
Hey, they're making it exciting. This is what we're looking for today.
Now, interesting, why didn't they try and recover that kick as opposed to giving it straight to Mexico?
Very good question, Doug. Maybe hoping for a mistake or... And now they're giving the ball away. Here it is. This is the chance for Guyana.
Sweeper for Guyana back there.
Definitely don't want to kick that away.
Rickford Cummings, he's their speed man along with Butts. And now Mexico is taking that spilled ball. It's 14 minutes. They just have to kick this into touch. Yeah. And they're aware of that, and that's what they've done. And Mexico thinking that, I don't know, that the game's over.
Like I said, there's some injury time in this. You got to pay attention to what's going on here. The Mexicans just giving a...
Guyana was killing themselves thinking it was over. Yeah. They've got a line out here.
Yeah.
So, folks, just because the final whistle is gone, if you're not familiar with sevens, can't end until the referee says, hey, we had to add some extra time for injuries and that, otherwise people would be killing the clock all the time.
I'm sure the Mexican, if he had thought about that, he would have loved to run around with it a little bit.
Just to ensure. Now a bit of a gadget play on the line out. Referee says it's okay. They're 50 meters out from winning this game, and they have a man out wide. And the crowd getting on their feet, excited to see what could happen as Myers goes into contact. That's Peebo Hamilton. Mexico tackling like madmen. Brian Archiero indicating that ball's got to come out. Long blast the whistle. Game can't end on a penalty. Now Mexico will kick it into touch, and that'll be the game.
You know, ending the game in that note, it's disappointing for Guyana, I'm sure. Mexican fought well, you know, that's what you got to do. You got to fight for these games, and that's what happened.
They were in with the chance, and what an exciting finish. So the final score was 17-14 Mexico over Guyana, and we'll be back after the break for our next match. And that next match is between Canada and Barbados, and that's going to be an exciting one. You're watching Nacra Rugby Sevens Championships on Rogers TV.